Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Um, I just wanted to come here real quick because I know I've been making a lot of videos in Spanish, and I just want to reassure you that my channel will have English and Spanish videos. Um, but I can start with this main video today, kind of like translating what I said in the other video. I actually did a series talking about the origin of homosexuality and some things that God had revealed to me in regards to that topic, that subject. But first, I just want to say, by any means, this is a video about being against homosexuals and nothing like that. Instead, this is a video of more revealing and just having compassion for people who have those kind of feelings, being attractive to the same sex. What got me started was, meeting people who are homosexual. I always wondered, like, why are they like that? You know, I always wonder if there's something happened to them in their childhood. So that's what got me started. Also, what got me started was just kind of talking to some of my friends and just noticing there's a trend that I've seen it a lot in the churches. I've seen a lot of single Christian women who are like kind of like my age, late 30s, and they're still not married. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? It's so, it's sad to see that, and then I'm like, what are the Christian men doing? This is from my experience, what I noticed. I hope, you know, that you didn't experience this, but if you have, go ahead and leave me a comment. So this is what I noticed. I noticed that a lot of let's say in the youth group, the college and career group they call it now, for people like myself who are, single and they're career people, but they're not really into the ladies group, or, because it's just in the churches there's also a lot of separation too. And I understand we want to teach people like the right things and stuff, but I feel like a lot of the times people like my age who are not married yet, who don't really fit into the teenage group, who don't feel comfortable being in the ladies group because they talk a lot about marriage and, dealing with the husband, with the kids, and I cannot really relate because I don't really have that yet. And I feel like a lot of the times people like myself, we um can get like, they look down on us because you're not married yet. It's like, what is wrong with you? What sin are you in that God has not given you a husband yet? And that is completely wrong. And what I also noticed too, being in youth group and my career and stuff like that, sorry about that. What I noticed too is just that a lot of the men who, let's say, they want a partner, they want to find a wife and stuff, what they do instead of just talking to the girls who are already there, the Christian ladies who go to church, they end up bringing somebody from the outside to church in hopes that that person is going to find Christ and they eventually marry themselves. And that's okay, but I feel like it's just, they still want that worldly woman, they still want that Barbie doll, that regardless if she worships Jesus or not, they still will go for it because it's all about the image. Like, I feel like a lot of the men that I've seen, of course I'm not talking about everybody, but a lot of them, they prefer a Barbie looking doll woman, and nothing wrong with looking pretty and nothing like that, but they prefer that above somebody who prays to God, who has the fear of the Lord, who believes in the Bible. They still prefer that. And this is just my experience of stuff that I've seen. But the thing that I was talking about being the homosexual was like, Satan is attacking the marriage. This is why a lot of the people in the churches, a lot of the men are homosexuals. And I'm seeing people in the church because I have the experience of meeting people who were in the youth groups who I thought, I would never see this here. And one of my friends actually, he confessed to me, he said, I like men. And it was like one of the biggest shock of my life because I never expected that coming from him, coming from somebody who I met at church, who was in church. And then he told me he was in a relationship with somebody who was also in the church. a young guy, like, like my age too. And I was completely shocked because I was like, what? He's like, oh yeah, me and him, people pray for us because we're in sin, this and that. I was completely shocked because that guy, he's in leadership. So I was like, wait a second, there's something going on here. This is why so many women who are Christian, so many single ladies are still waiting for a husband to lay, kind of what they say, late age, because you know, Satan is attacking the marriage. He's using it by attacking the men and a lot of the women too, don't get me wrong, but the majority is the men. He's using homosexuality as an attack to marriage. That's why a lot of men, what I've seen, are puppeteers of Satan. They're just doing what Satan wants. And I know a lot of us, the Bible says resist the devil and he will flee. So these are I'm just going to talk about signs that I've seen, meeting people also outside of the church who are homosexual. And what I see is something, just me, myself, just doing my little, like analysis, and things that God has revealed to me. So there is a missing link. If somebody is homosexual, there's something missing. Something happened. Something did not go the way that it was supposed to be. Something happened during childhood. Something happened in marriage. And what I mean that, like, the first sign, the majority of the people that I met who are homosexuals, they come from a family who is divorced. They didn't grow up with that mom and dad in the house. This is stuff that I seen. And there's a guarantee that out of 10 people that you meet who are homosexual, 9 of them come from a broken marriage. The other thing that I seen too is that a lot of the time the people who call themselves homosexual have experienced some type of abuse as a child or during their adolescence years. That's something that is just, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of the time we feel like we can judge homosexuals because their sin is visible, and that is completely wrong because I don't know why the screen keeps doing that. And that is completely wrong because a lot of the times, you know, we are, as a Christian church, we're so quick to judge a sin that we can see. Somebody who's dressed up all the way homosexual, because a lot of them, the homosexual, they want to look like something else, right? There's the guy who wants to dress like a woman. Yeah, he says, God made me this way. Then if God made you that way, why are you dressing up as a woman? But anyway, somebody dressed up like that walks into the church, and the first thing your sister in Christ or your brother in Christ is going to say to you, somebody needs to volunteer to go talk to them after service. Why? Because they look like they're in sin, right? But the person next to you could be a liar, a cheater, a thief, and because they hide it well, because you cannot see it, then you will never like expect it, right? But anyways, that's something else that I see. My second point was that a lot of the homosexual people who I encounter, they, maybe, it's not something that you want to go and ask them, like, what happened to you in your childhood. Those are painful memories. So they experience, from what I see, some type of sexual abuse during their childhood or adolescent years. Okay. So the other thing, the other point that I was pointing in my Spanish video was what I see in a lot of the homosexual people experience. Um, you know, they were rejected by a dad. They had a very abusive dad. So they come home from school, let's say, and this dad hates everything that you do. And everything that they do, the dad can have 5 kids, but he hates that one guy, that one kid, and I don't understand some parents, like, man, I know it's the devil working through them, I guarantee you. So the devil will make you hate your child for no reason at all. And you have a child who's just trying everything he can in his power to get compliments from you, to get like affection from you. So you have a child who is emotional depending on the dad because the dad is rejecting him, is being abusive toward him, not sexual abuse, but physical abuse, a lot of punishment. You didn't do it right, you're not good for nothing, a lot of verbal abuse. So you have a child who grows up thinking that, his dad doesn't like him. He likes other people. He likes his other siblings, not him. And then that child, when he gets older, will eventually find a man to give him that. So he will try everything he can to get that from another guy. because he never had it from a child. And by that means it's not, not he will, because he misses that he never got an affection from a male figure in, you know in the marriage in his childhood, so he will search that, excuse me, he will search that from another man. So these are, I'm just giving you 3 points. I'm gonna go back to my videos and see the other points, which I right now just forgot. But anyways, I don't like making my videos too big, I mean too long. But I just wanted to say, by any means, this is an attack on homosexuality. If anything, this is about having compassion for them, and somewhat an understanding, to the point that we can understand where they're coming from, but we're not really accepting the sin. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times we can be, and by we, I'm talking about the Christian church, we can be hammering down on people who are homosexuals, even though we all struggle with some type of sin in our lives. And we say, how can he not change? How can he not change? Look at him, the way he dressed. Look at him trying to be get married and all of that. Yet, when we sin, we immediately go to Christ and ask for forgiveness, right? And we think that that mercy, that forgiveness, that grace is only available for us. You know, this is a real pain in people's life. And the reason why I'm so interested in talking about it is because I'm a fashion designer, so homosexuals are all around the fashion industry. So I get to talk to this type of people a lot. And the biggest shock was finding it in the church. And that's like a whole nother subject. But that tells you how clouded sometimes our mind can be, because we think, oh, that's never going to happen in the church. And, you know, things are like, the devil doesn't make exceptions. So, um, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I'm gonna make the second follow-up video on this, and thank you so much for subscribing. And if you have any comments whatsoever, you want to reach out to me, go ahead and leave your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless. Bye.